Kapil Shastri, and I have created this is the demo video for my project for this Microsoft built AI hackathon. And here is my pitch. So every team in meetings, for example, meetings of enterprise businesses, maybe startups, maybe corporates. So in every meeting, people come join to discuss the growth of the company or to implement some critical changes that will be crucial for the growth of the company or maybe to fix some issues. So during such meetings, people often make promises like I'll fix that bug by tomorrow, or maybe I should update the documentation, or I'll take up the follow up for this process or for this underlying issue with our servers, maybe our clients, maybe with our business partners. And they do make such promises, but because nobody is actually taking the notes and nobody is after like post the meeting, nobody is checking if the work is actually being assigned to the particular employee and if they are actually working on the problem or not. So to fix this exact issue, like to actually implement the crucial decisions that are made during the meeting, all the crucial promises that are made in the meeting by the employees, to make sure these changes are being implemented for the betterment of the company, I have created my project. So what my tool does is, let me give you a view of my tool. So this is a 5 agent orchestrator system and multi-agent system where each of this agent is assigned with a particular task. So what you need actually to do is just need to drag and drop the transcript, the audio transcript, which can be easily recorded using Microsoft Teams transcript this feature. So the transcript can be easily downloaded and maybe copy and pasted here. So once you paste the transcript here, it will run the 5 agents that wake up and get to work. And each of this agent has a particular task, and let me define you the task of each of this agent. So the first we have is the extractor, this agent. So what it does is it reads the transcript like a very attentive intern and pulls out all the valuable promises that were made, maybe the decisions, maybe the tasks that were mentioned during the conversation that were supposed to be implemented post meeting. So for example, there is a task like I'll have the mockups ready by Friday. So what it does it takes out that crucial important task, which becomes a real action item for this business. So if the task will become an action item, something like a key value. Now the assigner. So what the assigner do actually is, it is quite interesting. So it looks at your team and it finds who does what. So it will look at the employee or maybe your teammate, maybe your colleague, and it will see what is the function of that employee and is it actually right to assign that particular task to which employee. So it does that. Also, it also checks. So if one employee is highly busy, maybe he is busy with some projects or maybe some workload. So what this assigner does is it will look for the second priority person to assign this task to. So all it does is figure out who to assign the task and who will be the most productive person to finish the task as early as possible. So this is one of the strongest agent and one of the most crucial part of this project. Now it is as I mentioned, it does not just randomly assign the task. It just first see, like it goes first by filter process who to assign this particular task and then prioritize the employee to assign the task to. Then I have the tracker. What the tracker agent does it is the memory of the team basically. So it reads the last 4 weeks of the meeting notes and asks, has this come up before? Like for example, if task was accepted then assigned to an employee, the tracker checks if any of this task was provided earlier or not. So if for example, if the API documentation has been promised 3 weeks in a row and the work has not completed yet, so it flags it and escalate it further. So for example, if a task has been pending for more than 2 to 3 weeks and it needs to be completed as urgent as we can, so this tracker tracks all that record of all the decisions and the task, the action item that I mentioned earlier. And if then action item is getting delayed, so it will prioritize it, maybe marking it as ultra urgent, something like it's need to be done right now. And now the scheduler. So what the scheduler does is it checks the existing project plan and asks, is this actually achievable? So if someone already has 3 tasks due this week, like for example, if an employee has already workload and we cannot give them multiple tasks, so it raises a conflict. So what this scheduler does is it schedules the task. So for example, if an employee has already pending task, but we need to assign 2 or more tasks to that employee. So what this scheduler does it prioritize the task with the calendar and makes the action item implemented as soon as possible. And last we have the communicator. So what it does it writes a personalized Slack message for that Slack platform for the team, so that every team member know the update of the task. So maybe telling them exactly what they are responsible for and how long the task is due and how it is flagged as urgent or ultra urgent, and everything in plain and understandable English manner, nothing else. So, what I have done for this project is every action or every promise that was made or every decision that was made in the meeting, and that should be completed post meeting, maybe immediately or maybe in weeks. So, what it does, the acceptor converts that decision into a action item. Let's call it action item, and this action item will go through this process, and the work of all these 5 agents together is to complete that action task as soon as possible. So it will go through the calendars, through the pending tasks, to the employees who are busy and everything, just to make sure that the task is implemented as soon as possible. I'll run the simulation for you to know how it works. So as you can see, assigner, tracker, scheduler, communicator. So now you can see that the task has been completed. So now we'll run Swan again. So how it is actually useful is humans tend to miss tasks, like tend to miss information, tend to miss things. So what this project does it actually uh, remembers everything and implement all the right actions at the right time to make sure there are no losses to the company, to the enterprises. And it saves like hours of work, because obviously now you can see Ethan. So this whole data was generated from data set that I have here, like pseudo data, like this. As you can see, this is the pseudo data that I created for this project. So now as you can see, Ethan to finish the API documentation and circulate it the next week. Lime to have the dashboard mockups for the new KPI widgets ready by Friday. So as you can see, all this are the task items, like the action items it was assigned to. Like it has all the details, like who the task was assigned to, the due date, and the status of the action item. Now as you can see how it prioritizes the assignment of the task. It first looks who's responsible, so it will filter out with the job role of that person, like who's actually responsible to complete this task, and then it will run through who to who to hand over this task to make sure that action item is completed as soon as possible. Now it also generates this timeline, as you can see here, and this is the tracker history, like Ethan to finish the API documentation in the next week. So this is how this whole system works. So how it is actually useful, if you ask me, then the best thing this can be implemented is when there is a very small team. Like I can imagine the use of this tool in a very small concentrated but potential team who's constantly giving their 100% to 100%. So in short teams of maybe 5 to 15, 10, 20 employees who are everyone of which contributes high in their team. So this tool can help them to coordinate better with the actions that need to be implemented, and this can be perfectly, like, I can see the use case of this tool mostly in the sales job, which is actually the major number of jobs, and also the service industries. So thank you so much. Do have a look of it. I'm uploading it, hoping to maybe receive a prize, because I think I try to create something meaningful. And have a great day. Bye bye.